Good morning. This is the Big JB for the Morning Thunder. You can follow me on Twitter at Voice of the Panda, of course. I was thinking about things that I wanted to talk about this morning. And I've been listening, again to some audiobooks. And it seems like every day when I'm driving to work, as I'm listening to these books, I get inspired either to record my own stuff or to write my own stories or rewrite stories that I thought could be better. There are a couple books that I've read that I think could have been a lot better, namely Children of the Mind by Orson Scott Card and Rama 2 by Gentry Lee and his name, Arthur C. Clarke. His name just eluded me for a second there. They're books that had so much potential, and there was so much there that could have been good, but they were really lame. I kind of feel like they were really stupid. And the stuff in Rama 2 that's about the Ramans, that's about the ship, is good stuff. The stuff that's about human relations and the things that are going on within, the people who are left behind on Rama, it's not good. It's not, that part I'm sure is not Arthur C. Clarke. Arthur C. Clarke is a hardcore science fiction author. He typically writes very hard science, and that's what I appreciate in my science fiction, and the relations of humans with other races and trying to figure out how those evolve and what humans do with it, that kind of thing. So that's in some of my favorite stories. So I was thinking about that and thinking about comic books as well. Stay with me. This is going to all come to the same point. I stopped collecting comics a while ago because I got really tired of, well, first of all, I was down to collecting only a few comics, and then it just seemed kind of ridiculous to be paying for, I was going through an online site, and it seemed kind of ridiculous to pay for the shipping if I was only going to get, 3 comics a month or whatever. It's just not worth it. So one thing that really bothers me has to do with the deadlines that comic book writers have to meet, and how if you want to get an independent comic book that is really good, drawn and written by somebody that you really respect, typically there's no deadline requirement on them. They don't have to produce a book every month. The desire is that they would, but they don't necessarily have to. So you have to weigh whether or not it's worth it to wait for this book that you really want. And then you have somebody like Marvel who puts out a book, for that series every month. But the writing on it, can be kind of questionable. So I stopped collecting comics because every time I would read a comic, I'm like, man, I can write this story better. I could do better than this. And I got so tired of the massive world events that happened in the Marvel Universe every summer. It's just so far outside of the realm of what I think is possible. So I've been really inspired, I guess, lately to write my own stuff, to create my own stuff. The problem is that when I'm the most inspired, I'm in my car. So I would then have to narrate what I want to do and then transcribe it. Now, if I had an iPhone, I could use an app like Dragon Dictation, which could take my dictation and could put it into something. And so someday, if I get an iPhone, I'll definitely use that. But for the time being, it's just a lot of hoping and wishing and pondering. So I'm not a bad writer. I mean, I know that I write well, and I think that I could write my own story. The question is, would I? Would I take the time? Would I set aside the time that's needed amongst all the other things that I like to do to get it done? The answer is probably not. Since discipline does not necessarily seem to be a strong point of mine. So those are my thoughts for today. I may talk more about that later, but that's what I was thinking about this morning. This has been Morning Thunder with the Big JB, Voice of the Panda on Twitter. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.